Do an awesome farm-to-table breakfast and dinners and things like that for their hikers. It's a donation based. I think it was like maybe $15 for dinner and $11 for breakfast. Everybody's just called it breakfast. I'm skipping it just to kind of get prepared and ready, and then pack up, and I'm gonna do a little walk around of the place so you guys can check it out and hopefully introduce Lemon Drop and Baloo again and the owner who's running the place. So I'll catch up with you guys. Here's the entryway to the bunkhouse. There's stuff for sheets and trash and whatnot. Double door, cold entry. You should just kind of come in here and it's an old log cabin. There's some hiker stuff, food, and we'll hang out. Lounge area, pellet stove. 4 bunks in here. And these doors slide open on either side. And I stayed upstairs. And everybody's at breakfast. I'm just gonna make my bed real quick and then settle up. I'm gonna head out. Did you pin your home state, your home county?
Not yet.
Let's see. Right in between, right under the A, Cuca Lake, or Seneca Lake. That's real New York. Finger Lakes. Alright, leaving the bunkhouse. So they have 2 glamping cabins. There's the shower house. We have a little resupply. You can check out some of the cabin here. Pretty cool stuff. And the main house. Little farm, some goats, chickens, pigs. Outdoor boiler. The Remi. Cool stuff. You guys are killing it in the kitchen. Thanks again for the hospitality.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get on the road and start hiking on, man.
Do it. You know what to do.
Exactly.
Just keep doing it.
Looks like there's another bunkhouse up there and some more gardens. Pretty cool. 1886. Pretty cool stuff. On the road again. Oh. Alright, you two, I'll see you up the trail. See how long I can keep my puffy on. It's too cold for me right now. So, heading out of Woods Hole, Hostel. It's a balmy 47 degrees maybe. I don't know, it's pretty cold. And they're calling for rain still the next couple of days. So I'm trying to do 11 miles to Narrows or Pearisburg. Virginia. I gotta download a bunch of videos or upload them, and I want to see about getting out of the weather. Oh, I didn't see that little small cabin behind him. Looks like maybe a woodshed smokehouse, something like that. It's pretty cool. So I have a bunch of reflections on my stay. I'll start with Dave. So Dave's a crypto whatever. He's trades cryptocurrency or whatever. So I called him the Wolf of Wall Street, or DWAL. We talked quite a bit last night, and he was in the Navy, and talked again this morning. I was talking about, you know, the need or want to put in super long miles, and apparently he was in the Navy and did some buds training for Navy SEALs. So it kind of makes more sense now. It's kind of that kind of guy. Cool guy. Very ambitious. We got to know him. So he's up in front of me. He talked about doing some time with his family, his kids, 1 and 3, meeting up with his wife in Northern Virginia and taking some time off. So hopefully catch up with him on trail again. So my stay last night, Woods Hole Hostel. I didn't mention it in my first couple of videos coming into or leaving Georgia, I guess. I met a couple named Lemon Drop and Baloo. They were doing trail magic. And I asked them a bunch of questions. Kind of the first people I interviewed, actually. We talked about small goals, 1 step at a time, and we kind of recapped what it takes to be in it for the long run. Great conversation. I reflected on that time, and I ran into them at Woods Hole Hostel. They were doing work for stay for, I think, 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, Baloo said this morning. So it was really awesome to run into them. They were actually around the dinner table last night. We got together for dinner, awesome dinner. Had a little prayer and circle. So thanks for what we were thankful for. And I keep looking over and I see Baloo and he looks familiar. And then I look around the other circle as we start going through people. And Lemon Drop, I recognize her for sure. So I put it all together, realized that these are the 2 people I met, and it kind of come a half circle, sort of quarter circle. A quarter way through the trail, they're gonna go down to Damascus for trail days, and then they're in Vermont. So hopefully hook up with them in Vermont when I get there and make it a full circle. Excuse me, they're not in Vermont. They're pretty sure they said Maine. Baloo and Lemon Drop decided that they wanted to return to the trail for trail magic and do work for stay. They apparently had sent out a bunch of thank you notes to where they had stayed during their hike, and kind of planted a seed of, if you're looking for work to stay in the future, keep us in mind. And apparently Neville, who is the owner of the hostel, had reached out to them and said that they had some workers fall through and that early in the season would be great. So they picked up a 4-week work for stay at that hostel, and another couple weeks when trail days comes around, they're going to be moving themselves down to Damascus, and then they said in the future they'll be up in Maine. So looking forward to running into them again. Like I said, it was a nice conversation with Baloo, and glad that he had come in to load the pellet stove and had taken the time to sit down and have a conversation with me in the bunkhouse. So I appreciate that. Thanks again, Baloo, and again, I think you guys are doing a great job. I'm kind of envious, and look forward to catching up with you guys again soon. There's a view out this way, so we're gonna see if there's a view. Guess it is a view, isn't it? Long ways down. When they catch up, there's Dave. He's fucking running. The crazy maniac. So we talked this morning about food and getting enough calories, and I was actually just thinking about that as I ate my candy bar and pick it out of my teeth. He was the one that did some buds training, Navy SEAL training, and God, where was it going? We talked about the 4-state challenge, and it's like 44 miles or something. He said, I want to do 50. I want to see if I can do 50. I said, why? Just to prove it to myself, he said. But he's been putting up big miles. He did 30 something the other day. and mostly going to average 20 going into Virginia, or excuse me, into Roanoke, where he meets up with his wife and kids. There's piped water coming right out of it. Dock's knob. I don't know if I'd want to sleep in there. Yeah, and we'll come right up to you, right up the steps. Not that they can't get in others. So also reflecting on some things that Dave and I talked about this morning when I was asking him about why so many miles and what his background or experience was, and he told me it was Navy and SEAL training. And he said the same thing as, like, you know, putting in miles, like, there's nothing else to do during the day, so you walk, or in his case, run. But it's hard to get to camp and just sit around. So he says, you know, pretty much go all day, get to camp, fix my dinner, go to bed, sleep well all night, get up and do it all over again. We talked about just, you know, the difference between being uncomfortable, being hurt, and then like acute pain or an injury. Obviously acute pain and injury being something that needs to be addressed, but being uncomfortable is kind of going back to what Squirrel said, Alex. You know, it's throw out your mattress, you know, be uncomfortable. And I think that the trail has a way of throwing a lot at you. Today, the weather being cold enough to wear gloves and button-ups, you know, all the way up to the top, and I buff up around my head. So yeah, it's about being uncomfortable, but there's a difference between that and then putting yourself in danger, which last night, certainly with some wet gear, socks, sneakers, and then being as cold as it is this morning, that could be not only uncomfortable but dangerous, depending on where and when I could get dried out. I don't think the temperature is supposed to rise much more. So again, just going back to, you know, putting in miles, using the daylight hours, but also being aware of your body and what it's telling you that it needs. In my case, we also talked about just getting in more calories, taking brats on trail, things that you can, you know, make bacon, well, cured bacon or uncured, I can't remember which one, I have to check, but making sure you get those calories in. Those units of energy needed to keep up the pace. All right, thanks for tuning into my channel. Channel name is GS Ballard. Welcome to Remi Running Ridges, an AT adventure. Today's May 1st. Before the end of today, I hope to have 100 subscribers. Right now I'm on mile 625. I've been at it for over a month now. And for those of you following me along, or following along with me, thank you. What I need you guys to do is help share this video, and my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers before I reach my 1,000th mile. So I need you guys to share this, email it, call a friend, tell them about it, Insta spam, tweet it. I don't know what you guys do these days, you kids, but share it with your friends and family, your co-workers, and I'd love it to see this video go viral and my subscription go up. It can certainly help in financing my trip and getting these videos loaded in a timely manner. So again, thank you guys for following along. Please share. Running Ridges with Remi, an AT adventure. Check this out for a minute. The skies look mean today. Thank you, power lines, for the view. I think we're heading down there someplace. It's snowing right now. Hail, sleet, snow, whatever. It's very light, but cold enough to do that. You know, 4 miles to Pearisburg. So just gonna keep trucking along. We've seen a couple views today. I don't think it's any different. It's just a town. Oops. So I was just looking for places. I came across a thru hiker that used to be a thru hiker anyways, adjunct, that was going southbound with a light pack, and I asked him if he was slack packing. He said no, day hiking, which I don't know what the difference is, or if he knows the difference. But anyways, I asked him where he was staying. He said at Angel's Rest, the hostel down here. I figured it's time for me to start looking into calling. So far out, there's one that was pretty affordable. May 1st they started hiker bunks, and it was a all-inclusive package, refrigerator, like microwave, TV, kind of all those things, but at a cheaper rate because you're sharing it with like 3 other people. Called them, said they have rooms available with 1 beds and 2 beds, and basically it's a hotel selling the $99 a night package either way. Called the next hotel because I don't want to stay at Angel's Rest with adjuncts, and called them, asked them about hiker rates. They said $55. It's your private room essentially, and that's where I'm going tonight. So you can tell it's kind of breezy, but it certainly was cold. It was sleeting here and there. Sun comes out occasionally. Does get warmed up when you're in it, but other than that, I think it's going to be a good night to be out of this. But I got to resupply, download video, get back on trail as soon as possible, because I need to make up at least 9 miles from today. 8, 7. I'd say that wind's blowing in some sort of storm or weather front. I haven't had much of a opportunity to look at the weather with no service and little battery, so hopefully we get to the hotel, be able to do that, kind of plan accordingly. Signed into the motel. Food lines over there. There's a Mexican place, there's a pizza place, there's a DQ. Not that I need any of that stuff, but I was able to get this room for $50, and it has Wi-Fi, so I'm going to connect, download videos, and look at my resupply and see what I need to do. And we'll get started with that, and I'll get back on trail in the morning.